What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the newest rumor that a State of Play is on the way. Technically, a Nintendo Direct as well, and those are actually always pretty darn good. And the year, if this rumor is true, right? Year's starting out pretty darn good. We get like 6 big releases from really now until maybe Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Yet again, March is actually pretty massive as well. The year starts pretty fast and pretty hot with game releases, and then if there's an Xbox Developer Direct, which there is, and hopefully that can be extremely good, and then you throw in a State of Play and Nintendo Direct, you're looking at a pretty good first 2 to 3 months of the year at minimum, and that's if they don't do anything from like April on. So I want to talk about the State of Play part of this rumor specifically. Love Nintendo, love their games, but at the same time, just not a really big thing for this channel, so we're going to focus on PlayStation. This comes from Jeff Grubb, who basically assumes the Nintendo Direct. He says the State of Play in a more direct way, right? So he says, it is one that I heard that was coming up fastest, but you can always count on Nintendo Direct in February. It's almost certainly going to happen in February again. That leaves the question about a State of Play. There is a State of Play coming. There's a State of Play coming. When exactly, not sure, but I'd expect it in the next few weeks. State of Plays are always weird, man. You always get the sense that these are just contractual obligations. They just told a company they'd give them free marketing, so they fill a need and have to do it, so they could be disappointing. And I assume that's like in response to, well, sometimes, because we've talked about this, right? Some State of Plays are actually pretty good. And it definitely does kind of depend on where you set your expectation, but some State of Plays are like truly, like objectively, I think, very, very good. Some of them are not. And so maybe that's, the reason why, which I think we kind of all assume that, right? Where maybe, yeah, they're just kind of giving away free spots, or they promise companies free spots because some of the games just don't really move the needle, right, with these State of Plays. But regardless of that, again, like I said, Nintendo Direct sounds like it's what he's assuming is going to happen, which is fine. I'm sure it actually will happen. State of Play sounds more like what we would consider a rumor, right? He was told it. He says to expect in the next few weeks. So we have the Xbox Developer Direct literally next week, back-to-back weeks. If you could have Developer Direct, State of Play, take a couple weeks off, and then have a Nintendo Direct, again, that would be a good stretch of time, right? On top of the games that are coming out during that time as well. So what could be at a State of Play? Well, we talked about this many times. There's a lot of options, and I think, I got to go back to an old-time classic of Stellar Blade. I think Stellar Blade would make so much sense. You think to maybe Konami and Silent Hill 2. In fact, later today, I'm going to do a video. There was talk, and this is official talk, that Silent Hill 2's promotional team, marketing team, is ramping up, and that's going to start pretty soon. So, okay, well, why would you do that? Well, the game's releasing soon, and you'd have to show it off, and where would you show it off? Yeah, Silent Hill Transmission for sure, but maybe you could give a quick little look at a State of Play, right? And we've talked about it. Sony specifically from the first-party angle doesn't have almost anything, if anything at all, that's releasing in 2024. It's more about announcements, I think, this year for future years, future games. Ghost of Tsushima 2, maybe Ben's game, Blue Point's game, right? These are games that probably don't launch this year, but you can announce them this year. Would you do it at a State of Play? Honestly, I would say no. You would wait till a showcase. State of Play, I think you get kind of everything else out. People are saying maybe you announce a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo there. That would be something that would make sense. Maybe you do a couple third-party things like a Dragon's Dogma, that maybe Rise of the Ronin, right? These March games, later March games, you'd probably knock a lot of those out. You could do the Stellar Blades, the Silent Hills of the world, right? That to me, and we'll talk about it again, obviously, if it gets confirmed, and maybe they'll kind of tell us, hey, this is going to be third party, this is going to be first party stuff. I'm sure they'll give us kind of an idea of what the event would be, and we'll talk about it, again then. But I think it can be pretty darn solid. Like at this point, and this is where I'm at, I just want, new updates for these games. I don't really even care. There are games I care a little bit more about than others, but there's a lot of games needing announcements or needing updates. And so at this point, it's like, well, just give me anything you got, right? If you got 5 games, maybe I'm interested in 2 of them and the other 3 I don't get. I mean, just show them anyway, right? Let's see some of these updates, and like a Foam Stars, I could keep going, right? These games that aren't going to move the needle all that much, but they're still interesting in some way. A Foam Stars definitely is interesting, maybe just not in the way you would expect. So that's my thoughts on it, at least right now. We'll see if it happens. If it's going to happen, and if he's right, we're going to get it, relatively soon. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.